TJ the Wheel Joe coming at you live. It is Monday, St. Patty's Day. Wear green. If not, I'll pinch you in the ass. That's what I tell my wife anyway. This is a beautiful day for me. It reminds me of the oil field, guys, on March 17th, 2011. I had to figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up. What was I going to be when I grew up? So I joined the oil field. I joined a company called Helmrich and Payne, H&P. And I was going through hard times. This guy, Eddie Barrera, was at my cousin's house. He was like, hey, I'm looking for a worm for the oil field. And I was so green, I didn't even know what a worm meant in the oil field. So once I realized it was just somebody who was green and didn't know anything about the oil field, I was like, I'm your guy. He's like, if you can pass a drug test, I can have you on the rig within a week. And I was like, well, considering I've never drank or smoked, I think I could pass a drug test. And my career got started in the oil field. So I had that job for about 6 months. Then I got fired for fighting and insubordination. And I was unemployed for a couple of months. And then after that, I was at my parents' trailer house. I sat down outside on a Monday and I told my dad, I'm not going to come back inside until I get another job in the oil field. There's a bunch of companies out there and somebody's going to hire me. I have 6 months of experience. The oil field is booming. This is 2012. So my dad's like, I know you. You'll come back inside in a couple of hours. You'll have something lined up. It took me about 35 minutes, and I found a company called Neighbors Industries, Neighbors Drilling, USA. I had an appointment. I had to be at the office in an hour and a half for a drug screening and to take an evaluation, like an exam to see how much I knew about the oil field. It was like 40 questions. I got like 38 of them right. And then I interviewed with the regional manager. He's actually called wasn't a rig manager. I forgot what superintendent. He's a superintendent. I interviewed with him and he was like, we're going to send you over to a training station and where the hell was that training station? Gosh, man, it's in Tyler. It's from where Earl Campbell's from, the Tyler Rose. So I went to Tyler for like a week, got all the certifications, forklift, man lift, the whole enchilada, and boom, my career continued with Neighbors Drilling, and I worked there until a little after St. Patrick's Day in 2020. So it was a good time for me. It was a good learning experience. I learned a lot about myself. I was able to earn over $1 million with hard labor in the oil field, a lot of time away from the family. And I socked quite a bit away in my 401k during that time. So the oil field definitely helped shape me as an adult. I'm always going to be thankful. You know, I'm always going to be a fan of Drill Baby Drill because that put food on my table, on my family's table for several years. So anyway, here we are now, St. Patty's Day 2025 edition. I can't believe it's been 5 years since I've been in the oil patch, guys. And I don't want to go back. I do not want to go back. I'm absolutely thankful that I learned how to sell options because this is a lot more money than I ever made in the oil field. And I don't have to work that hard. Does your mind get tired at times? Yes. Does your body get tired? Not really, but it is kind of sedentary. So, you know, I got a little mat over there and a roller, and I do my push-ups and jumping jacks and stuff over there because you gotta like get moving. And then I got my garage gym and stuff because in the oil field I used to burn thousands of calories daily, you know, walking up and down. As a Derek man, I had to climb the ladder 90 feet, etc. Here we don't do any of that shit, right? So it's all those things, right? The gimmies and the gotchas. But anyways, real quick portfolio update, guys. For those of y'all that are new to the channel, my name is TJ the Wheel Deals. I sell puts. I sell calls for a living. I roll when it makes dollars and cents. And I am known for buying that timely leap. I'm good at buying those timely leaps, guys. Made a lot of money doing that as well. And I run the Boardman Cover Call campaign. So that's pretty much all that we do on this channel. So let's get started. Let me put it over here like so you guys can see the kaleidoscope action. So then now I'm going to put it on the portfolio. So we're going to start with the small account and then we'll work our way up So I made a couple of moves on the account today. So I'm going to put it on history. I'm going to put it on history. Or let me do activity, actually. And then we'll just put it for today. So what did I do today? I sold cash secured puts on TSLL. We'll start from the bottom. So I opened up TSLL puts, 5 of those at $6. Then I bought long calls back. So I sold to close some leaps on NEO to free up some cash because I wanted to buy more leaps on SoFi. So I bought 25 more leaps of SoFi at $20 for June of 2026. And moving on up, I closed out CleanSpark for a loss because I was trying to just consolidate the portfolio. And I want to buy more shares of Riot. So I've got a little bit more money coming into this account, another $3,000. And that's going to give me the ability to buy 500 more shares of Riot, essentially. So then on TSLL, I bought to close the puts at 11. And then I bought more leaps on SoFi and I sold more cash secured puts on TSLL. So that's what's going on in a nutshell with this particular account. There's not a whole lot. So there's just 4 positions. So there's NEO, there's $4.50 cash secured puts, 60 days out. On Riot, there's the 500 shares and the 5 covered calls. On SoFi, there's 100 leaps. Down on those leaps, but I expect that those leaps are going to be up big. I did close out the covered calls that I had because I was running the Poor Man Cover Call campaign on 50 of these contracts. Closed those out for a nice profit, but we are down on those leaps, $6,800. And then on TSLL, now I have 15 cash secured puts at 5, 15 cash secured puts at 6 for April the 17th. So this is all the positions that's going on. So now it just looks a lot cleaner. I feel a lot better about the account already. It's just easier to rock with. These are going to be my 4 horses. I want to continue to sell cash secured puts on NEO. The right situation presents itself, I'd be okay owning shares again. I had 2,000 shares initially. I sacrificed those because I needed to buy the Riot shares for my pops because my pops gave me $3,000 and he wanted me to buy some of that Bitcoin company. So that's what's going on with that one in a nutshell. So now we're going to go over to the other one, guys. We're going to keep it moving today. I'm going to check in with you guys. Hopefully you guys appreciate you guys. I am actually down another 3 pounds. I weighed in yesterday at 231. I started the year at 249. Now I'm at 231. The goal is to get to 200. I feel like my wife's like putting pressure on me. She wants me down at a healthier weight, and I got to get to 200. Really got to get to 185, but we're not going to get to 185 until we get to 200. So last week I was able to do a fast for over 24 hours. And this week I'm going to try to do one for like 30 to 36 hours. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to start it tonight at 6 p.m. So I'm probably going to eat a little bit more than normal today. I've already had a breakfast. Normally I haven't even been eating breakfast. So I'm going to start a fast this evening at 6 p.m. And I'm going to try to not eat anything tomorrow. And I won't eat again until Wednesday. And it's just it's real good cleansing, like just not just physically, but spiritually, emotionally. And I just want to have a better relationship with food because I'm like one of those that I eat food out of boredom. Like I'm not even hungry. I just eat out of boredom. Or if I'm watching a movie, it's like I feel like I gotta have the popcorn, I gotta have the nachos, I gotta have the hot dog. There's a bunch of bad habits. So I have a bad relationship with food. I eat it for all the wrong reasons. When I was a personal trainer, I would eat food as a source of fuel, and that's it. Food was nothing more than fuel. Like I didn't eat it for taste. I didn't eat it for anything. It was just like, okay, I need to go get my grams of protein. You know, I got to go get the carbs. I got to get the nice fats, you know, that all that stuff, the monounsaturated, right? Like I was all into the macros. And then I stopped competing in powerlifting and all that shit went away. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I've been missing out. I didn't realize ice cream was this good. Ooh, a nice soda with lunch and dinner. That's real good. Potato chips. Ooh, what are these? You know what I mean? So it's like cheese, what? Like all these things that I didn't enjoy when I was younger, I enjoyed them later in life. And it sucks, your metabolism slows down as you get older, because your testosterone levels, they start decreasing. Like once you turn like 21 or so, you peak 22, 23, you peak as male, and then everything starts just declining and declining and declining. So it makes it harder to stay in shape, guys. So anyway, now I'm just trying to develop a healthier relationship with food and the way that I think about food and stuff like that. So anyway, let's get back into the portfolio update. So we're going to click on this bad boy right here. No, I don't drink black coffee. I saw that. I don't drink coffee. Very rarely do I drink coffee, period. But when I take my coffee with two to three sugars and one cream. That's how I do my coffee whenever I do it at a restaurant. So this is the $700,000 account. What do we got going on here? It's just 4 or 5 positions. So we're going to close all of these out so we can focus on it. So on NEO, there's just 100 cash secure puts at $4 expiring April the 17th. So you read it from left to right, guys. It gives you all of the information. The trade price is what we collected, the market price, what it's going for. So up 63% on that trade, and I'm going to milk it. I'm looking at 90%. Hell, I'm looking at 100%. If I don't have anything to pivot to, not taking the trade off. Why? Because NEO's in the buy zone. At $4, it is absolutely in the buy zone. So I'm not willing to give you any of this premium away. So it's a little bit different than, like, why are you going to leave $40,000 tied up to only milk $1,100? I was like, because I want those shares at $4. I'm hoping NEO comes tumbling down to $4. So that's what's going on with that. And unless I got somewhere else to put that 40 grand, it's going to give me a lot more money than the 1,100 for the same expiration date. It's going to come down to PPD. So the mentality changes whenever you're dealing with an underlying that you legit want to own at that particular strike price. Moving on up. So Riot, what do we got with Riot? 200 cash secure puts. I sold 100 of them today at already 100 on. Sold another 100 today. Picked up 54 cents collectively. They're currently 43 cents, and that's why we're up 20% on that particular position. Again, this is one of those that I'm going to take that trade-off. It's $140,000 in capital, and I'm like, give me the shares. And if you look at the balance here, there is $358,000 in cash in that account. So I can afford to buy those shares. So I'm not going to give any of that premium back. There's 8,600 of extrinsic value, 1,100 extrinsic value on NEO, and I want to see all of that money. Let's go to SoFi. There's 33,000 shares owned in this particular account, up a shitload on the shares, 72%, 168,000. And then there's a couple of open options positions. There's $11 cash secure puts, 70 of those, up 17% on those. Then there's a 70 covered calls at 16, up 55% on those. And then there's 200 cash secured puts, little backstop trade action at $10, collected a shitload of money on those, already up 4.6%. So SoFi is looking really, really good in this particular portfolio. Now moving on to SOXL, this was a position that was on Robinhood. We transferred it over, and it's at $23. It was at $24 actually, and I rolled it to $23. So we're still down substantially on it. Bottom line is, SOXL needs to bounce. It needs to bounce to $23 to be in the clear, because there's so many rolls into this thing. It's like whenever you trade a car in with negative equity, at some point you have to write out the note. You have to write out the note. If not, you're always going to, be underwater, if you will. So the only way to get out from being underwater on this particular option is SOXL is going to have to bounce above $23, or I'm going to have to keep rolling and rolling, or eventually just take assignment and play the covered call side of things and go from there. At $23, we're close. I'm more comfortable at $22, but I'd probably be okay just taking ownership here at $23 and then selling covered calls. Thankfully, it's only 5,000 shares. So it's not anything that's going to really, break the account in a bad way. And then we got TSOL. We've got 100 cash secure puts at 5, and we've got 100 cash secure puts at 770. There's one roll attached to the one on the bottom. So again, it's like you're trading in a car with negative equity. So at some point you have to write out the note in order to get out from under that negative equity. But here we're in a position now to where we're like, it's going to play out. we're totally okay taking ownership at 770. And if we take ownership at 770, we'd definitely be okay taking ownership at $5. So I'm not likely to want to give any of that premium back. So I'm going to be a lot more stingy with the premiums moving forward, guys. It's so hard to find a good trade. It's so hard to find a winning trade. So now that I've found some, I'm going to milk them. I'm going to milk them for all they got. So that's what's going on with that particular portfolio. Now on to the big portfolio. What do we got going on? We got stocks. We got Amazon. It's STAR, right? It's SoFi, Tesla, Amazon, right? That's the four horsemen. So we'll start, and then there's some cash secure put positions open. So we'll start with Amazon. What's going on with Amazon? There's a 10,000 shares owned at 203. They're currently going for 195. That's the trade price in the market. And then the P&L for the day is 26,000. The P&L open is 78,000 on the shares, so down 4% on the shares. And year to date on Amazon, it's down $264,000. That's what's going on with Amazon. But then there's also a covered call. So what's going on with the covered call? So I'll highlight these as we talk about them. So there is all the shares are for sale at $220, 31 days out. Collected 192. They're currently going for 86. So we're winning that trade, 55% on the covered calls. So we're getting our asses kicked on the shares, but at least the covered calls are doing okay. Now, NEO. What's going on with NEO? There's 500 cash secure puts at $4. Again, up 38%. I'm not likely to want to do anything here. I'm not likely to do anything here because I want to own those shares at $4. Hell, I'm interested potentially in selling 500 more cash secure puts at $4.50. Then decision to make. But I'm like, what if it's like $4.30? I'm like, okay, so I win the fours. I take ownership at $4.50, and I can just sell covered calls at $4.50, $5. Try to write some shares up so I can create a covered strangle. So that's something that I'm entertaining is selling another 500 cash secure puts at $4.50 on NEO because I'm definitely serious about getting into some sort of covered strangle swing trade on NEO. I love it at those prices. Riot. There's a lot more going on with Riot. There's 150,000 shares. So the way you read this here is the trade price is $8.51. So we own those shares at $8.51. They're currently going for $7.77. So down 7,500 on the day, 110,000 collectively, or 8.6%. So that's what's going on with Riot. And Riot's down $361,000 for the year, right? Based on the 150,000 shares that we own in this particular account. So then now we're going to go to the next one, and we've got 500 cash secure puts at $6. I sold these today. I'm sorry. I sold these 5 days ago. So picked up 22 cents. Are currently going for 17 cents. So up 22% on those. And then today I sold 500 cash secure puts at $7. So 31 days out, collected 46 cents. That's currently going for 43 cents. So already up $1,700 or 7.3%. There's still 31 days on that contract. And then we also got 50,000 of these shares, 500 contracts times 100 at $10. So these covered calls are, we sold them for $23. They're currently going for $22. So up a little bit on those covered calls. So that's what's going on with Riot. Now let's go on to SoFi. SoFi, there is 150,000 shares owned at $7.44. They're currently going for $12.16. So up 9,200 on the shares, 707,000 collectively, 63.4% on SoFi. And then we have 200 cash secure puts at $10, collected 37 cents or $37 a contract. Those are currently going for $21 a contract or 21 cents a share. So we're up 43% on those. Again, I'm going to try to milk these to like 90 to 100%. I'm not going to be in a hurry to get in and out of positions here because I just want to do less and I want to make more. Then I've got 500 covered calls. So a third of this position is for sale. 50,000 of the 150,000 shares are for sale at $15. And got 16 cents, and they're going for 16 cents. So it's essentially a wash on this particular position today. And if there's a nice balance on Riot and SoFi, I will put the other 100,000 shares for sale. Now let's talk about SOXL. It's just 200 cash secure puts at 14. Got 95 cents or $95 a contract, currently going for 42. cents or $42 a contract. There's 8,400 of extrinsic value and already up 55.8% on those in 4 days. So normally I would just close these, but because SOXL at $14 is something that I would love to happen, I'm going to see the market turns a little bit because I would love to take ownership of these shares at $14. I'm even considering if there's a red day, I want to sell 200 more cash secured puts at 15 and kind of start running a ladder. So maybe go 14, 15, 16, and even 17. Because at any one of those numbers, at any one of those strikes, it'd be okay taking ownership of SOXL. Now let's talk about Tesla. And I'm breezing through this, guys, because I have FaceTime starting at 7:30. So Tesla. So how do you read it? There's 6,500 shares owned at 261, currently going for 244. So down 6 figures on the shares today, 179 total, almost down $1 million, $971,000 of depreciation on our Tesla shares for this calendar year. That's what's going on with Tesla. So Tesla is not performing well. Make no mistake about it. So now what do we got going on? So we're like, well, we like them at 261. We should like them at 200. We should love them at 200. So we have an agreement to buy 3,500 more shares at $200. 31 days from now, collected 645, currently going for 640. So we're up a little bit, very little on those cash secured puts. But then I've also got all the shares for sale. I'm like, bought them for 261. I'll sell them to you for 300. Got paid a lot of money for that. $645 a contract, $645 a share, currently going for $277. So already up 57% on those covered calls. And I ain't going to give any of that money back. We're down so much over here, $971,000. I ain't giving you any of that money back. I'm going to let it play out. And then I'll look to do this again, hopefully at minimum at 262 or so would be a strike price because we don't want to be buying shares high and selling them low. So minimum, I will be selling covered calls at 262, but hopefully at 300, hoping for a nice little green action on Tesla. That way these will expire worthless and then we can get even more money on the covered calls. But this covered call premium is absolutely essential whenever you're getting your ass kicked on the shares. Now let's talk about TSO. So got 1,000 cash secured puts total. So I had 500 at $5. Sold those 4 days ago, already up 23% on those. And then this morning I sold 500 cash secured puts at $6 at 39 cents. Those are currently going for 44 cents. So down a little bit on those. I'm perfectly okay taking assignment on both of those. So I'm not looking to do anything here. I'm not looking to do anything here. So you're going to see a lot of 80s, 90s, 98%. And I'm going to be really, really, really selective as to when I take these trades off the table. Because right now, all of these stocks, right, prices, like the strike prices, those are areas where I'm okay taking ownership. We're not bluffing. We're not bluffing. So that's the thing. Totally taking ownership of Tesla at 200. Definitely okay taking ownership of SOXO at 14. I'm okay taking ownership of SoFi at 10. Definitely okay taking ownership of Riot at 7 and 6. Definitely okay at taking ownership of NEO at 4. And I don't have any cash secured puts on Amazon, but I'm definitely okay selling those shares at 220 as well. So, and I'm okay selling Riot at 10, the 50,000 shares, and I'm okay selling the 50,000 shares of SoFi at 15. So because I'm okay with all of it, I'm indifferent. I'm going to let the shit play out. And then we look at the balance over here. There is 3.579 in cash. And this is the part that's really, really exciting, guys. Go to the history. We're going to put this on year to date and options. You'll see that we collected $205,000 in premium since moving over to Tasty Trade. I don't want to give any of that premium back. I don't want to give any of that premium back, guys. I'm going to be very, 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 very stingy with that premium. So that is what's going on with the portfolio update in a nutshell. So you obviously haven't been following the channel. They kicked us out on Robinhood. So that's why I don't use Robinhood anymore. And I'm glad it worked out because I get better fills over here. We get a lot more metrics that we didn't get on Robinhood. So it's just kind of working out for everybody. Anyway, what's going on, Manish? What's going on, Mr. G? What is going on, Midwest? What's going on, Big Bala? Congratulations on American Eagle, my man. Good for you. Sam L, what's going on? Slim Futures. How much did you invest when you started? Man, I've been investing for a long time, guys. The very first stock that I bought was Intuit, INTU. Used Pell Grant money. So, and it was like $2,000 or $3,000. I don't remember. I think it was 2,000. And then I ended up buying, I think, as much as 10,000, and I cashed it out for six figures on like 2015, 2016. That was a good day. That was a good day. Hi, TJ. What are you doing here? I'm chilling, selling puts, selling calls, collecting premium. Appreciate you. Good morning, TJ. What are your thoughts on April the 2nd? Will the market take a tariff hit? I mean, I didn't even thought about it too much. Probably. Who knows? Maybe. TJ discovered the world of the oil industry while watching the TV show Landman. Right on. Yeah, I've seen Landman. I think it's a great show. The girl from Varsity Blues, from the washing machine, the whipped cream and the strawberry, the cherries with the Dawson's Creek character, James Van Der Beek. That's the girl from Landman, the wife. What's going on, Manatee? Try to drink electrolytes, water with lemon juice, some salt, honey while fasting. Yeah, for sure. So I do this Mongo water. It's like it's got like 70 calories. Hey, got like 70 calories in it for this whole thing right there. And I've been drinking like 2 of these a day, so it's a nice, easy way to get water in. And then I drink 2 of these a day. And then I drink 1 to 2 of these a day. So I am hydrated from all angles. And then I've got a lady that's going to start coming and doing the electrolytes with the IV. I'm going to start doing that like once a month as well, just to really get whatever nutrients that I might not be getting. TV shows a lot more comfortable from the couch, right? Yeah, living in a man camp sucks, man. Oh my God, it's horrible. I lived in a bunk bed for years, guys, in the oil field. Morning Wheelers respect, man. TV shows that work in the oil field is tough. It's the most dangerous. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's real hard on your family. Huge respect. When I worked in the field in Midland, I didn't have the brass to haul fuel there right on. I never worked in Midland. I worked in Carm City and Kennedy and Cotulla and Catarina. Pleasanton. Those areas in Texas. TJ, drama at Tesla is certainly heating up, isn't it? The 4 largest investors in Tesla are not happy with Elon and have called for an emergency board meeting. I haven't even followed that closely, to be honest with you guys. What's going on, Radon? What's going on, Gentle? If you transfer to Hood, you get, dude, I'm never going back to Hood. Doesn't matter. They could offer 5%. Doug wants to be in the picture. Is that G Money? I got G Money here, and I got Duke. Duke's on the recliner, and G Money's over here on his bed. So I got both dogs in here. Carnivore diet for gosh, I just don't like meat that much. I don't like meat that much, so it's real tough. So the one I'm really, really rocking with right now, because I feel like it's sustainable for me, is intermittent fasting. That's kind of like been my thing, for sure. Have you seen the? No, man. I did. I've been turning the market off whenever the market's done, because I want to spend more time with my family. I made a commitment to go golfing once a week here at the golf course yesterday, so I'm just kind of like trying to do that thing. But I got to run, guys. I got to run. I got my first FaceTime at 11:30, so I got to get on that. TJ, the Will Deal signing off as always. Make sure you guys stay blue, stocks green. Peace out. God bless you guys.